I would like to say that I'm not gonna do any more reviews. I'm done making reviews. I've tried doing reviews. I admit I tried and I failed. Nobody likes my reviews, so I decided to stop doing them. And I deleted most of my videos because they were not interesting and nobody liked them. I just want to say I have over 400 subscribers on YouTube. I want to say thank you so much and I appreciate it. I just recently heard about this, and apparently GameStop is shutting down. They're closing 150 stores, and more GameStop stores can be possibly closed. I remember GameStop, it used to be called Funkoland, but they changed the name to GameStop. Anyways, I used to be a GameStop customer, but not anymore. I now buy my fucking shit from Amazon. I'm so fucking happy about this. Fuck GameStop. I'll post the link in the bottom if you want to read the full article.
Okay, all ready to go? Let's get started! I'll start the game.
It's that time again. Arise from within yourself. It's time for a new cool stream. EDF! EDF! There he is. Once again, Hikiko is consistent. He's on time. A Wednesday at 5 p.m. U.S. time this time. We did it. We did things a little differently. We threw him a crumpet. All the Euros out there. But tonight we've got a lot of different things on the docket. Before we get into EDF, and somebody in the chat asked, what does EDF stand for? Earth Defense Force. We're playing the 5th one. There are, geez, I want to say there's like 12 or 13 different EDF games. But there's spin-offs. There's like American, like Insect Armageddon and Iron Rain. There's, what is it, World Brothers? World Brothers is in the mix. Then if you want to go into the whole like Sandlot extended universe, there's like fighting games that have like EDF soldiers and stuff. And I've been playing EDF since the 360 version. But I know like this series goes back to the simple series like on the PS2. And I think there was an EDF on the Super Nintendo. I'm not sure. But we have a lot on the docket tonight. What do you guys think? I got Heather over here. She's chilling with me today. I try and change it up. It's like that every time you watch the cool stream, it's like The Simpsons. You never know how he's going to sit on the couch differently this time. You never know what kind of backgrounds he's going to have, what kind of sound effects we're going to have.
Think you can get it inside mine?
He's doing it all. He does something a little different, so he rewards you all. Speaking of which, I got my microphone on this side, so it's not blocking on my face, so you can see me as we're chatting. Let me give my shout-outs at the top. And I got a few items on the docket that we're going to discuss before we get into the game proper. So, we got Frog Minutes in here. What's up? Gun Plus Skates. Meme Boy, Garden Back, EDF, 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 EDF. J-Spot's in here. Slippery Veins, I'm glad I answered your question there. Earth Defense Force is what that means. We've got Sentry is down in here. All sorts of people. Okay. So, in the previous stream, we talked a little bit about the Stop Killing Games Initiative. What's up, World Renowned Geohound? I see you in there the last minute there. Daniel's in here. The last stream, we talked about the Stop Killing Games Initiative, and specifically, I did that Europe stream because it was like near the tail end of all the signatures that were needed for Stop Killing Games from both Britain and Europe proper, the European Union. Little recap if you don't know, Stop Killing Games is an initiative made by Ross Scott, so let's go ahead and bring it over here. I've got all my tabs. He's all set here for this stream. But Stop Killing Games is an initiative brought by Ross Scott of Accursed Farms. Essentially what it says is it's recognizing that modern games, especially like games as a service or games that have heavy online components like The Crew, eventually become dead games. And I've been thinking about this movement and like the sheer amount of dead games that are underreported, because when people think of a dead game, they usually think of something on the PC or they think of something on the consoles, like your PlayStations, your Xboxes, and the like. But another thing that came to mind was apps, phone apps. I have several dead game apps on my phone right now. If I pull them up, I don't download many phone games, as I call them. But I have two right now staring at me. I have Million Onion Hotel, which I reviewed on this channel. It's a phenomenal game. There's no reason why it's been pulled from the store. Like, I've reached out to Onion Games, and I've gotten like a half-hearted reply from Onion Games saying like, oh yeah, we're going to put it right back up on there. And I guess I'm on Android. Maybe it's still on the Apple Store. I don't know. But it hasn't been on Android in over a year, which sucks because I played that game quite a bit. I still like to pick up and play, but I can't. And then Nier, I've got it right here on my phone. Nier has a canonical entry. Hey, we got a super chat. Stop killing games. Marvel Heroes died too soon, says Chase Spot. Did it? I don't know anything about Marvel stuff, so here's a game I have right now. Let's see if it'll focus. Can you see that? That's Nier Reincarnation. This is a canonical entry in the Nier series, and if I try and play it right now, it says failed to connect, and that's it. This is, and it goes back to the title screen there. That's it. I can't play it. This is a full-on game, full-on story in the Nier universe, and I'm sure it's important. But I didn't get a chance to play it because about a month before the game went down, there was a lot of server maintenance. So I kept checking in on it. Every time I checked in on it, there was server maintenance, and then they pulled the game. So yeah, I think the app stores go overlooked because people change their phones out like every couple of years, every 3 years. And then whenever, iOS goes through an upgrade or Android goes to a new version, games just die because of incompatibility. So unless you're like hanging on to older phones with older OSs on them, like that's fucked, don't you think? Anyway, so some white pill news here. Stop killing games. My last stream, it was just about to hit 1 million. I was at like 900,000 something, and now it's at 1 million, basically 1,300,000 is where it's at. So it's in what they call overdrive mode. And overdrive mode, the reason why there's like overflow signatures is because Ross and the other members of the initiative were worried that there would be some fake signatures happening. People would be signing up from using a VPN from like America or wherever and making fake emails and then just spamming like a whole bunch of votes and stuff like that. But that's against the EU laws, and I don't know what will happen of that, but essentially he wanted to overplan in case there was a bunch of fake signatures. And he said that the record of cold signatures, and what that means is like people who use the wrong information, or they were bots, or they were using a VPN or something from another region. The most they've had is like 250,000. So it's over that. He's hoping to get to like 1,400,000 so that this can go before it's not the parliament. I guess I'm not really. It goes before the EU whatever organizations, and they're just gonna like look at it. This isn't like asking them to pass any laws immediately. It's basically just asking for end of life plans, and then like if possible to hand over server code to the users so they can have their own private servers. You remember how video games used to have LAN components, or just localized area play? Wouldn't that be nice if the game, like, that would be cool if developers started incorporating like more LAN local options, because I used to go to LAN parties when I was younger, like Counter-Strike and Halo and all that good stuff. Or if somebody wants to run their own private server. And there's been some pushback, and we'll get into that pushback here in a minute. Let me read some super chat here. Hey Terry, what's up? Terry says mobile gacha games are the biggest offender. Yes, and it's an absurdly good business. A lot of, especially Japanese gamers, have migrated away from consoles. There's still a big console presence, no doubt, but I would say like almost the majority of the Japanese population has some form of gacha mobile phone game. I was seeing them all the time on the subways. But I also saw guys busting out their Nintendo Switch. Like, the Switch and mobile games are kings over there. Hey, what's up, Gabriel? Frogman coming. Yeah, Frogminutes is in here. So the UK, this is going before the Parliament. This petition here, as I said, like, Stop Killing Games is trying to hit all the different fronts at once. It's like a scattershot approach here, but it was at like 90,000 signatures on my last stream, so last Wednesday, and now it's at 181. So I think this has a good chance. I mean, the thing is, like, the Parliament can reject it, or they can look at it and ignore it or whatever, but it momentum, entropy is everything when it comes to this movement. Just getting, as I said, it's a scattershot approach. They're trying all these different regions, all these different forms of government, and if it's rejected, they can fine-tune things and then try again. It's not like this is over if no laws or measures get passed. And I think if it does get, there's some theories out there that if it does get rejected, it's going to cause a bigger groundswell movement of people angry that their voices weren't heard. But some people did hear about Stop Killing Games. Video Games Europe, which is like this coalition of like various board members from different video game companies or people like in the industry, and they've come out with this collective statement that I think misrepresents what it's about. So this was posted, their statement on Stop Killing Games, and the way this is, this is the month, this is the day. So on the 4th of July, we do month day over in America, but they do day month over there. Okay. So it says, we appreciate the passion of our community. However, the decision to discontinue online services is multifaceted, never taken lightly, and must be an option for computers when an online experience is no longer commercially viable. We understand that it can be disappointing for players, but when it does happen, the industry ensures that the players are given notice of the prospective changes in compliance with local consumer protection laws. So they're saying, like, no, we don't want to provide continue. Now it's understandable that they don't want to do continued support for a game that's financially not viable, but it also like ignores the end of life discussion, like maybe creating an offline mode, maybe creating single player, maybe LAN if you're so concerned, because this next bit is what I thought was really interesting. It says, private servers are not always a viable alternative option for players, as the protections we put in place to secure players' data, remove illegal content, and combat unsafe community content would not exist and would leave rights holder liable. Like, how many... Now, I'm not saying like there aren't risks involved, but Minecraft is perhaps the most popular game of my lifetime, right? It has the most amount of private servers and all sorts of different like fan and community contributions and stuff. It's like nobody's calling for clutching their pearls trying to protect all the children. Same thing with like Roblox and stuff like that. Just like where are the people trying to stop all the grooming gangs in Roblox in this statement? But it's more of like we don't want to have that that promise, or we don't want to make that commitment to preserving games. We want to control the IP. And here's what I mean by control the IP. There are the biggest competition oftentimes, like whenever there's a new product, is an older product. And you see this a lot on Netflix. You see this a lot on media streaming services. The reason why they remove a lot of old content, you'll see this like with Warner Brothers or Netflix or whatever. They remove old content because a lot of people were going back and watching the old stuff and not watching the new stuff. And it was basically killing off any new chance for them to grow a new subscriber base. You had a whole bunch of old boomers and stuff subscribing to HBO and just watching The Sopranos again for the 70th time. And the video games the video games industry want that level of control where they can delist things and make you rebuy the same thing over and over again. They shut down ROM depots. You see this with Nintendo all of the time. They kill connections to servers, and then like maybe they relaunch a game later on down the road, and through their origin, like their EA Origins, their exclusive platform for their games. And it's just going to get worse if we don't push back against this kind of stuff and ask for more options, either through private servers or LAN or offline modes, or at least some form of playable state. And that's what Stop Killing Games is about. It's not trying to force like one size fits all. It's like, here are some things that could potentially work to put the game in a playable state. You pick whatever makes the most sense for you and your business, but we still want access to the games that we purchased as consumers. Anyway, so the beast is scared, and on this website, on the Video Games Europe website, they list all of their partners and the people, all the different businesses associated. And this one here is Activision Blizzard, of course. Of course, Blizzard would be on the Stop Killing Games initiative when they had a Blizzard Nepo baby leading the charge to kill the movement in the cradle. But you also see, this is what stuck out to me. Over here is Niantic. Niantic, they are the ones in charge of like Pokemon Go and the various like Pikmin Bloom and Monster Hunter and blah blah blah. They make specifically mobile games that require a connection to their server and all their different like gacha components and stuff like that. But imagine, I can't imagine like Pokemon Go is going to be shuttered. It's almost, like 7 years strong right now. I don't imagine it's going to be shuttered anytime soon. But, in the far future, whenever they want to move on to like Pokemon Go 2 or whatever, what if as a cultural artifact somebody wants to go back and experience the original version of Pokemon Go? And I think it could be potentially offline. You could make it to wherever it just relies on the GPS components and then just like programs in like random encounters and things like that. But you're going to see a lot of pushback from mobile developers especially. And Nintendo has so many delisted games when it comes to the mobile part. That's something, as I said, is overlooked. I think, what was it, Tamagotchi Life, their very first one? Like the very first mobile game that Nintendo made is no longer playable. That's kind of fucked up if you think about it. And then you also have, of course, Microsoft, who just laid off 9,000 workers. Of course, they'd be against that. Who else we got in here? Netflix delisted. They had a Netflix gaming thing, and I think they just shuttered it. But they also had a choose your own adventure media / video game called Bandersnatch from Black Mirror. If you ever seen Black Mirror, there was a Netflix show where, like an old choose your own adventure video game, you could choose the outcome for the character within that, and that is no longer there. So of course Netflix is going to be against Stop Killing Games. Nintendo, of course, because Nintendo is like a serial killer of all sorts of games, not only their mobile games but ROM depots, and they want to control absolute access to their back catalog. They want you to buy their Nintendo membership so you can play ROMs. Things like the Wii and the Wii U, where you could just a la carte pick out the things you wanted to play, that's no longer a possibility. And the 3DS as well. I'm really disappointed in Sega, but then again, Sega's in the gacha business. Sega's also in the gambling business. So Sony, of course. So like all the big dogs are out. All of them. All Square Enix, Ubisoft. What's funny though is like Pirate Software tried to frame this as, think of the poor indie developers. Think of all the poor indie developers who would have to be put under a financial strain to to keep their games alive. Well, look I don't see any indie developers here. I see all the big guys coming out and saying, no. You can't tell us what to do. It's bad. It's real bad. So let me read some chat. That's our update on the Stop Killing Games front. There hasn't been like any acts of Congress. This hasn't gone before anyone official just yet. Still got about a month left, I think. The end of the month is whenever they're going to submit the final or they basically have people auditing this right here, the EU version. It's going through constant audits and they're throwing away like false votes and stuff. So we'll get a better picture of like how many people actually signed it near the end of the month. So I think it's going to be all right. I think it's going to be fine. Let me read a little chat, though. What's up, James? What's up, Hikiko? Terry says, knowing our parliament, I don't think anything will come from it. Regardless, if it gets rejected, I think it's going to invigorate the gamers even more. They're going to have another Gamergate on their hands. God help them. Frog Minutes. Wait, Robot? Never mind. Gunplus says, ever played Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion? Nope, I haven't. None of these companies surprised me whatsoever. Yeah, and then we also have things like Switch game cards and all sorts of issues, but I'm glad that all these problems of preservation are coming to the surface. We've started a conversation unlike anything else, like nothing I've ever seen. I mean, during the C-bomb stuff, we had a little bit of momentum, and then like Sony actually fixed the C-bomb on the PS4 and PS5, but not the PS3. And then Microsoft, the Xbox just got worse and worse because they added more layers of DRM, and they started revoking homebrew and all sorts of shit. It's bad. Digital Foundry came out and warned developers, like, don't work, no matter what we said in the past, do not work with Microsoft. It's a big risk. You're all gonna get fired and lose a bunch of money, so don't do that. We need Gaming Seahorse more than ever. Nar says, Ross and supporters could be doing a lot better, in my opinion, to explain that keeping games with an online dependency playable does not equate to the developers and or publishers maintaining servers. Yeah, the thing is about this whole initiative, like Ross has been going in on podcasts and other platforms to try and explain his position, because this is the first of its kind, really. Nobody else has attempted this, so of course the messaging is going to be a tad confusing, and he's like refining and fine-tuning things. And if these petitions get rejected for being too vague, that gives them a good opportunity to go back and refine a few things and resubmit it. So I don't think it's over, even if like these initiatives get rejected, or that they're just stopped dead in their tracks. I think there will be enough people now aware, and I think that's the one main thing, is that we've got more consumer awareness about this issue than I think ever before. And it's just because, and this is what I said like when I made those C-bomb videos, nobody really cares about these issues until it affects them directly. And once there's been, a player who experienced like Concord during the first couple of weeks, or they had a favorite online game get delisted because of copyright shit or music licensing or things of that nature, it starts to spread, and you can't really stop word of mouth. And once you try and suppress it, we end up with the Streisand effect. What's up, MD Chaos? Andrew UK says, it's shocking how difficult it is to get gamer support to support this initiative, but so many stormed stores to grab Nintendo Switch 2. Gamers are who allowed this corpo cancer to thrive in our hobby. Yes, they are to blame. I'm not going to say that gamers aren't to blame. We've got a lot of consumers that are just uninformed, and they see new thing and they go out and buy new thing. But part of this initiative isn't to place the target on the consumer's back. It's to make the consumer informed. So they will come to their own conclusions and decide what to purchase in the future. You can't really turn back time. You can't really stop the people who are addicted to the gotcha stuff, but you can definitely help them make better decisions, or at least be more informed. I don't think there's anything wrong with what Ross Scott is trying to do, even though people have painted it as, oh, he wants big government control. I think like anything else that has potentially addictive or potentially misleading contracts involved, like EULAs or license agreements, when you have potentially misleading license agreements and people don't read all the fine print, that's where all the scummy things happen. It's within that nebulous wording of things. So to have clearer language, to even just have a warning on the box, because you can see these on some modern games. It says this requires an internet connection. If they put an expiration date, on the box, this is only guaranteed to last maybe a year of support. That's what we're guaranteeing. Beyond that, that would make some people think twice. Okay, One more thing on the docket, and this is extremely important. This is something that has been burning in my brain. It's completely unrelated, but this is something that I've been thinking about for 2 years, and we need to get it out of the way. I read a book. Let me see if I can pull up the cover of this book. Let me pull up the cover of this book. Some of you might be familiar with this. Right. Okay, hold on. Let me pull this up here. Okay. I read this book. This is the book I read. I read occasionally, and I picked this one up, and it's a movie-making nerd. It's the autobiography of James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd. He is a king, he is a legend. We wouldn't be doing this channel. Most people wouldn't be doing any YouTube content. YouTube as a platform would be far different if it wasn't for this man. So just to let you know, I'm not a hater of James. I've met James. He's a wonderful guy. But his book is written at like a 7th grade reading level, and I can't get past that. There's a lot of personal anecdotes that he shares in this book that are both inspiring and then also very depressing. And one thing that I've taken away from reading A Movie Making Nerd is that throughout James's life, he has been taken advantage of because he's just got a good heart. He's a very nice individual, and I'm not trying to diagnose anyone with anything, so don't take this wrong, but I think he has some sort of mental condition that allows him to trust people in such a way that he doesn't believe that people are lying to him. And I think that's been kind of the root of all of his problems according to his A-logs, right? There's speaking of, like, this also came from the quote-unquote Cinemasker truth. And the most psychotic fans of all times, the Cinemasker truth. It's one of those snark subreddits and stuff. But occasionally, every once in a while, they post some funny content. And I'm also a big fan of James, so like I don't know if he's aware to the extent that people meme on him, but there's one thing out of all these little Cinemasker truth memes that stuck out to me. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but I need to share this with you because it brightened my day. So here we go. All right, let me set up the scene. This is an excerpt. This is a clip from a documentary that James Rolfe, who's on the right in the glasses and the hat, that's James, the angry video game nerd. He made a documentary, and he's made a couple of documentaries like this. He made one called Rocky Jumps a Park Bench. James Rolfe is a fan of Sylvester Stallone and the Rocky movies in particular, and he made a documentary called Rocky Climbs a Mountain. I believe is what it's called. And James, he likes to go to the locations of the films that he watched that inspired him. And this documentary is something else, okay? I gotta say, a lot of people dog on him and they make fun of him because he doesn't, the spoiler alert for this documentary is he doesn't actually climb the mountain. Like he kind of climbs up a little bit and then he gives up. And it's sad, but I like it in the same way I like his other like random anecdote, random tangent documentaries. Like he has another one called The Dragon of My Dreams about this dragon he dreamed about, and it actually was a dragon in this park that he went playing at and stuff. I like James because he has sincerity. Like he doesn't drench everything in a layer of irony. Like when he makes these things, it comes out of a passion thing. So yes, I enjoy it on that level. I don't like ironically enjoy it, except for this one bit here. And this goes back to reading Movie Making Nerd. Like throughout James's story, like there are people that have lied to him about certain things, and he just took everything at face value. And in his documentary, Rocky Climbs the Mountain here, there's a friend tagging along, and the friend is over on the left side, and he's got the little goatee, and he tells like the most sociopathic lie the most bullshit, like, this is my dad works at Nintendo lie ever. So I'm going to share that with you. If you've never seen this, this is my favorite bit of this documentary. So let's full screen this shit. Let's go.
It's cool. I actually I told Sly that we were going to do this. So when you approached me about it, I told him, and then that was kind of a while ago, and then I told him the other day. So he's very aware of what we're doing.
You're telling me that Sylvester Stallone knows that we're doing this?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. The biggest lie ever told. The guy on the left just told. Okay, so just some context here. James is driving out to the mountain from Rocky IV. He's going to climb this mountain. And his friend on the left told him the biggest lie ever, that he told Sylvester Stallone, Rocky himself, that they're making this documentary. And James is so happy by this lie that somewhere out there, Stallone is aware that they're going on this pilgrimage to the mountain from Rocky IV. So let's play that again, okay? So they're driving out to this mountain, and the guy on the left just tells this big, bold-faced lie. Here we go.
It's cool. I actually I told Sly that we were going to do this. So when you approached me about it, I told him, and then that was kind of a while ago, and then I told him the other day. So he's very aware of what we're doing.
I know the guys like this. I know guys like this in my life, and you got to be aware. And you got to be aware of guys like this, because they exist all around you. They sell you cars. Okay, they lead big pyramid schemes. This guy has no reason to tell James that Sylvester Stallone to crush his dreams, because here's the thing. Like, even afterwards, because James doesn't end up climbing this mountain. In James's mind, after he fails climbing this mountain, he's thinking in the back of his mind, like, oh, fuck, Sly is aware of this, and he's going to watch this.
You're telling me that Sylvester Stallone knows that we're doing this?
Yes, that is correct.
But, okay, so this is the good ending, though. This is a shit post that somebody made that actually built in the alternate reality, so here we go.
The video does not do it justice. Seeing it in person is the only way to know how risky it is. I had underestimated it. While I was researching and preparing for this trip, I looked at videos taken here by serious mountain climbers and skiers who were more brave than us.
Sly was aware. Sly is aware in the happy ending. That was just some shit post I found about it. But I'm like, how come nobody's talking about this guy? This guy just lied to the angry video game nerd. But somebody made it a reality. So that cheered me up. It's the best video I've seen in some time. So now, without any further ado, we're going to play some Earth Defense Force. Kino, Alex knows, yeah, that was cute. Not just aware, very aware, says Ian. All right, let's get this off the screen. Let's my PS5 fell asleep. Let's load her up. Oh my god. James, if we ever meet again, I'm sorry. I'm still a huge fan, and I'm quite aware. I'm aware, Hikiko's aware that you climbed the mountain. All right. It's like one of the new endings they added in the Silent Hill 2 remaster, says Slippery Veins, yeah. Okay, come on PS5, wakey wakey. I installed this one. I installed a new M2 drive to my PS5. Hold on a second. Ah, damn it. It's the high definition copyright protection. I gotta fix this real quick. Give me a sec. This fucking thing sucks. Okay, you guys are gonna laugh. So, this is something that's been happening since the PlayStation 3. Sony has implemented what they call HDCP, which is high definition copyright protection on all of their systems. And what that does is it prevents people from ripping media like movies and video games and things of that nature. So I have to disable that in order to stream, and it forces you to turn it back on every once in a while, like if there's a game that has cutscenes. So let me connect to it. So I'm going to show you how I do this. I've got my Steam Deck here. I'm going to remote into my PlayStation 5 using my Steam Deck. We'll see if this works on stream here. I got a lot of irons in the fire right at the moment. Okay. Let's see if that works. So I have to like remote into my PS5, disable HDCP so I can play Earth Defense Force. What a fucking world we live in. What a fucking world. Give me 1 second. Hey, now we've got it. All right, sorry about all that. That's Sony for you. I actually have what they call an HDCP stripper, which is like a terrible acronym and a terrible name, like a conjunction of words. But I have something that removes it, and I have to use it when I'm streaming PS3 because by default it's turned on the PS3. So here we are. We're gonna play EDF 5. This is a long-running series, and I'll try and explain it for you first-timers out there. But in chat, if you know EDF, give me some EDFs in there. Let's hear the battle cries. Yeah, and I have been playing Death Stranding 2, streaming to my Steam Deck. I have a program called Chiaki that allows me to do that. Alright, so let me know how the volume is coming in. Is the game too loud? Am I too loud? Let's get this figured out before we get things going here. Hey, what's up? We got all sorts of people in here. 46 people. Alright.
You win!
And also, a reminder, since we got 46 people in here, as always. Bam! I'm gonna kiss. Leave that light. Get out of my face. That's the free option. It's a little quiet. It's gonna get loud, so I don't want it too high. Okay, I cut it about 10 decibels. So this is Earth Defense Force. I have a Japanese physical release. It only got released in Japan, and it has a reversible cover art. So I don't know if you can see that here, but you can import this from PlayAsia or anywhere, really. Your Japanese copy of Earth Defense Force 5 has English on it, and it has the Japanese version if you want. But I always buy these physically, so check them out. Let me explain this whole situation. So, Earth Defense Force is like those 1940s and 50s sci-fi movies. You are a soldier for the Earth Defense Force, and you have to fight these alien threats known as Ravengers. And they're giant ants, spiders, like big kaiju, robots, all sorts of things. And it's very simple. You just got a couple of guns, so you choose like what class you want to be. I always play as the Ranger. They're classic. They're on the ground troops. You can play as the Wing Diver. They have a jetpack. The Air Raider, which is more of like a tactical. You paint a target, and then other jets and stuff come in. And Fencer are kind of like tanks, like heavy armor tanks and Gatling guns. But I play as the Ranger. Right now, these are all the guns. So there's like hundreds of guns to get. But right now, I'm using... They all look different. They all have different stats. I'm not going to read all that for you, but they'll tell you like the rate of fire, how much damage, accuracy. I always go with a rocket launcher and something else, but right now I'm going with the D-35 Breacher. This is a really powerful shotgun. And then I'm not going to go with the grenades. I'm going to go with a... we'll go with some missiles, shall we? No, we'll go with the rocket launcher for our first one. The Cascade's pretty good. I think I'll go with the Cascade. So these are the two, and you also get a support item. You can do things like adjust your armor. That's like how many HP you have. We're going full pink today. All right. I've already picked out a good mission for us to start with here. This, you can play in all these different difficulties, and the harder the difficulty, the more damage enemies do, obviously, but the rarer and better weapons you get. So I'm just going to grind a little bit on hard mode and just show you what it's all about. So if you've never played Earth Defense Force, they're on everything, like including the Vita. I have one on the Vita. So, this whole city right here is entirely destructible. And the physics and everything in EDF 5 are some of the best in the series. I haven't played 6, so I can't comment on it, but it's a humongous upgrade from the other ones. But you can like if you can see it, you can blow it up. And that's actually a good strategy to like get to enemies, because enemies will climb buildings and stuff. You can also like shoot everything in sight. You've got a crew. The main objective is just to kill all the monsters, all the aliens. So we got giant fire ants, we've got black ants, and then we have big toads. So I got the D-35 Breacher. This weapon right here punches big holes in groups of ants. So let me get a little closer, and I'll show you what it's all about. This is one of the best games ever. Anyone can pick up and play this and appreciate it. In EDF 5, they included like tons of guts and particle effects and limbs and blood. It's a bloody good time. So right now I'm getting grabbed by this fire ant, but it just blew his head off. So there we go. Oh shit. Let me do a little crowd control here. I just picked up a weapon. It'll make sense here in a minute. Let me get to a safe spot. I'm on hard mode, so the enemies are really aggressive. But there's also Inferno mode. Hey, we got a super chat for Hermes. EDF is a great series. Hold on, we gotta... Thank you, Hermes. I'm gonna leave you a little heart there. It is a great series. Endless replayability, by the way. Endless replayability. That's because you have to beat the game, like, in all the missions, like, 6 times to 100% it. Or times 4, I guess, for all the different classes. Okay, so these little things on the field, this red thing is armor. So every time I pick one up, it increases my max HP by 1 point. And that accumulates throughout all the levels. So that's how you get... That's basically how you level up. Weapons are a random drop, so they can be for any of the 4 classes. And it's just like a random roll. But you get better weapons, so you're incentivized to pick up the things on the field. And then there are health kits over there, which restore your HP. So we got a frog there that's sniping us. Let's get a little closer. The thing is, I like about these frogs is all their limbs explode in this one. So, and they can still survive from this state over here. He's still got an arm, so he can still, like, shoot you with that gun. But yeah, so that's what the game's all about, really. There's tons of different monsters and sci-fi inspired robots and all different sorts of objectives. Like, you have to crawl down into, like, a spider nest and blow it up. So... And you can target their limbs and, like, just kneecap them. But you can see he's still firing because, like, he has his right arm. But I think he's still breathing, so we gotta finish him off. And they'll shit out the armor, they'll shit out weapons and things like that. It's a true we did it, we saved the city kind of game. Yeah, 4.1 is good. 4.1 is like just a glorified version of 2037, I believe. Yeah, so there are some perks you get so you can, like, attract more items to you and things of that nature. But basically what you got to do is look up in the top right corner. There's a compass. Anytime you see a red dot, go towards the red dot and eliminate the red dot. Another good thing, too, is to, like, destroy some of the buildings and objects on the field so you can get a better vantage. But I like playing as the Ranger. They're the ground crew. If you play as the Winged Diver, you can fly around the city, but they're like glass cannons. They have, like, no health whatsoever. This is available, I think, on Steam, There is a couple of them on the Switch. This game started out on the PlayStation 2, the series did. And I got introduced to it through the Xbox 360. It was a $20 game that my friend David introduced me to. And it's probably one of my most played 360 games. EDF, I think it was like 2045, 2047? Or was it 2023? Maybe I'm a little too far in advance here. So the ants shoot that little acid goo at you. That's their long-range attack. Enemies have different attacks depending on what difficulty you play on, too. And they're way faster. Like, they turn up their battle animations on the harder difficulties. But I tend to play the game on hard just because you get better weapons. So you'll see I'm going to unlock a whole bunch after I finish this mission. And the game is really all about finding what you prefer the most, weapon-wise. Like, what kind of... And also you have to change up the weapons depending on the enemies. So sometimes you'll fight these giant spaceships, and they can only be killed with certain weapons, like sniper rifles or rockets. I love the battle damage, though. I don't think the perks are in 4.1. They're in 5, though. I can't speak for 6 because I haven't played it yet. But the one thing I will warn you about Earth Defense Force is they retain their value, and they're almost never on sale. So if you want to get a good deal on Earth Defense Force, find a used physical copy on eBay. And they are region-free on the PS4 and PS5. But you need to do a little research because some of them are Japanese only, and some of them have multiple languages. So EDF 5, it has multiple languages. I might crank up the difficulty once more because I've got some pretty powerful gear right now, and I did a bit of grinding. This is one of those games like where when I pick up and play it, I spend like a whole afternoon playing it. And it has local co-op too. It has online co-op and local. So if you got a friend or a significant other, you can hand them the controller and train them how to play this game in like 5 minutes.
Somebody should tell them. They should be on a leash. Have they no manners?
I love how the frogs can like stealth a little bit. They can hide behind buildings.
This isn't what I signed up for.
The frogs are like the best new addition. They're I don't think they're exclusive to 5. They may show up in 6, but they're a new addition to 5. If you have a PlayStation Vita, the 2 Earth Defense Force games on the Vita run like a dream. If you're just joining there and you've never seen Earth Defense Force, that's my favorite thing is people's first impression. Like, what the fuck is this game? But I guess it's not so crazy anymore because Helldivers is pretty popular. I think Helldivers might be more popular than EDF, sadly. Even though Helldivers owes everything to EDF. Okay, so I'm halfway down health here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dodge roll and look for little med boxes. So there's 2 different ones. There's a small one and a big health kit. I see a big one right between those 2 frogs. So we're going to punch a hole in these frogs and try and get to those health kits. There's one that spawned. Sometimes the action gets so intense you just can't see what's going on anymore. If you have arachnophobia, this is definitely not the game for you, by the way. The spiders are some of the most annoying enemies in the game. For sure. And creepy. Yeah. They're really aggressive on hard mode. But we're doing good. Yeah, big strategy in EDF is just to back up and shoot. Group them up. Punch a hole through them. The best way you can sell this game, though, if like you've got normie friends, say, this is essentially Starship Troopers the game. That's what it is. I wouldn't say there's as much satire going on. I mean, it satirizes like the old 40s and 50s giant monster and kaiju films and stuff like that. So if you're a fan of like Godzilla and the like, there is a parody, a legally distinct Godzilla that you fight in here. Does EDF have an anime adaptation? I don't think so. EDF is an extremely low-budget series. It's probably the most famous and the most popular out of the Simple series. Like, this was a Simple series title. That in Oni-Chambara. But EDF got so big that it just kind of broke away from the Simple series label. And now it's a full-price game. It's no longer $20, unfortunately, but it was released at $20 on the Xbox 360. So in a sense, it carried, even though it didn't carry on the Simple Series branding, it carried on the Simple Series spirit when it was introduced in America. I think that... Let's punch a hole in... Let's get his legs. There we go. And that's what a mission is like in EDF. Just a bunch of destruction, blood, and guts. And then after you beat a level, you get basically a rundown of how many armors you've collected. So I'm the Ranger, so I got it basically 11 HP. And it also raises the armor of the other classes, so you don't have to like go through each one of them and grind out the armor. So EDF 5 kind of distributes things amongst the other classes. So for the Ranger, I got a one new weapon, and it's the Slaughter E20 LS shotgun. So I'm going to be testing that. And then the Wing Diver got some, and the Fencer got some. And they just give you like little pop-ups of all the new stuff you got. So that's it. We're going to just run through and play a bunch of different wild levels. So this is the new shotgun I got. And let's see what's coming up in our next mission. So our next one, it says, mission complete. Good job, guys. Now return to the base along the shore. Safe journey. So I don't really know what lies ahead here. We're going to crank it down to normal mode and just see how it goes with our new shotgun. Yeah, Oni Chambara got 2 movies, I believe. Oh yeah, you can drive tanks and mechs and other things too. Just as a little side thing, I should mention.
What's wrong with that? Please get us the best ingredients. No matter how bad we cook it, we'll still be edible.
Have I ever played Sandlot's other games? They're robot fighting games like... Yeah, Rad. I've played Rad. Rad is phenomenal. It's hard to play, though, because you have to individually move all the mech's components, but it's a good game. So this level starts off as like a little parade, a tactical retreat, and then we get ambushed. So we've got some red ants starting off. They do that thing like where they lower the frame rate of the enemies if they're far away, like in the distance. And once they get in range, they start gaining frames. But good strategy for the harder levels on EDF is to zone and not aggro the enemies. Like get a sniper rifle and then go on the extreme end of the map and just keep playing sniper, essentially. Once they get closer, I'll use my shotgun. But I got the mechs, I got the tanks, I got my other soldiers. We start off strong. EDF 4 took you 800 hours to complete, says Vakin. Dang. And EDF 5's only 400 hours? Oh my god. That's if you go for all the achievements, right? The only person that I know that is like 100% completed an EDF game is my buddy Mark. And he did it on Inferno. Inferno, you have to play like co-op. There's just no getting around it. Because in co-op mode, you can revive your buddy. So it's not like completely game over if you get knocked out. It's an amazing co-op, like couch co-op game. I've had some, as I said, like I've introduced a lot of people who don't typically like video games. I just pass them a controller and I say, okay, this button's to shoot, this button's to jump, aim, and fire. And then they get so invested that they want to learn more. This is a game you could play with your dad, I'm sure. You do get your money's worth. The EDF games, they used to be like $20, but now they're about $60, and they never go on sale. So like if you're looking for it on PSN or whatever, they usually never go on sale. Like maybe on Steam, but never on PSN. So your best bet is to import a physical copy. We're gonna punch a hole with our new shotgun. Our new shotgun isn't as great as our last one, but we'll just deal with it. It does reload faster, so that kind of helps. The problem in EDF, though, is like sometimes you'll encounter flying enemies, and flying enemies are really hard to hit. So if you don't have a missile or a weapon with targeting on it, it can like really extend out the level. So usually, if I'm not equipped for the job, I just do a quick restart and reload out, and we'll be okay. But looks like so far we only have ground-based enemies. While they are drawing the enemies in, what I like to do is pick up all this armor and pick up the weapons. Because the moment you kill the last enemy on the field, you can't access any of the stuff anymore. Okay, I'll start heading that way, though. Oh, they're on Steam sales? I gotta get these for my Steam Deck, for real. I bet they'll run great, because they're not... Outside of the destruction physics, they're not exactly taxing games, so... That couldn't have been the mission. There's always like, okay, here we are. And now we're getting a attack from all sides. EDF has a lot of red herring scenarios, like where you think you fought a great valiant battle, then a giant spaceship will show up and start dropping lizards or something on you. Yeah, Oni-Chambara, I didn't like the original games. I think I had Bikini Samurai Slayers or something like that on the 360, and I didn't care for it. My buddy Mark, he enjoyed it a lot, but with each entry, they improved. There's also another game by Sandlot called Schoolgirl Zombie Hunters that I have for the PS4. It's not great, but I have it. It's sort of like EDF with zombies. But my Discord was talking about EDF. It was after, because I did a Simple Series stream last time. And I was like, I got a hankering. All I've been playing, I've literally put 80 hours into Death Stranding 2. And I'm closing in on it, I think. I feel like I'm getting near the end. But that's all I've been playing, so I just needed something a tad more mindless. Oh, Schoolgirl Zombie Hunters is in the Oni-Chambara universe. I'm sure EDF is as well. They're all part of the TomSoft Sandlot extended universe. Because all the characters show up in like this Super Smash Brothers game on the PS2.
And they are waiting patiently under the sea. As long as we have Siren, Pandora, and Epimetheus at our disposal, we can still put up a fight.
I always hate the stragglers. They're just like way on a far reach of the map, but you have to eliminate them. So I'm gonna go hunt some stragglers. It feels weird to just be able to scale a mountain with jumps after playing Death Stranding. Death Stranding's totally unforgiving about letting you do stuff like this. Okay. Blam. I think I mentioned this in my Silent Hill 4 video, but one of my favorite things about that game is they put in all these like gross slugs, and when you smash them with something, they just like leave their entrails all over the wall. They like make a little gross texture. EDF 5 scratches that itch.
Although we suffered heavy casualties, we saved several survivors.
That was the... Okay, so this was just an ant level. Nothing special. But they be like that sometimes. There's like over 100 missions. Okay, let's see what our next one is. The aliens have taken over the industrial area. Looks like we're gonna need some rockets here. So I'm gonna prepare for like heavy armored stuff. I'm getting rid of the Cascade. One of these rocket launchers, by the way, is called the Air Tortoise. The Air Tortoise, do I have it? Or maybe it's... Oh, it's a missile launcher. So this Air Tortoise here is the slowest missile in the game, but it produces devastating damage. So when it eventually arrives at its target, it creates a humongous explosion. It's kind of a meme weapon, and there's multiple variants. So it causes 12,000 damage. They even like measure the DPS out there for you, but we're just gonna go with the Grant for a rocket launcher, and then I feel I want to get an assault rifle of some kind. So I want something with a high rate of fire. The Minion, this one looks like it's got like 4 bullets a second, so that's pretty good. All right, let's go. Yeah, TomSoft did the recent Bleach game.
The Spriggan can complete this mission. The enemy didn't see us. Get close and take them out at once.
Oh, by the way, there's no fall damage, so you can just...
Use silent modules.
So, this is one of those things like where you group up with other soldiers on the map. So you don't start off with like a big crew, you just run into them. I think it's frogs this time. They haven't seen me yet, even though I'm blaring this flashlight in his face. They got like a little theremin playing too. Let's aggro him. Oh, I decapitated him. Can I show that on stream? One of the ways that video games like that were released in Japan got around like censors is like when you killed something, as long as it wasn't classified as a human, like it's like anime logic or something, like the 1,000-year-old witch or something. As long as it wasn't classified as human, you could get away with like destroying it, murdering it, decapitating it, delimbing it, that sort of thing. The same is true for EDF. But I think that just adds to EDF's charm. I'm clearing a zone here. Dang, that machine gun isn't too bad. I think I got that guy way back there too. I may have piercing rounds on there. But that's my favorite component about EDF is just the like you probably cause more harm than good as an EDF soldier. Like the Ghostbusters that go in. The Ghostbusters go in and try and capture a ghost, but they end up destroying an entire hotel or something. That's what EDF has. It has that Ghostbusters wackiness to it. The irony. Okay, so these are spiders. I don't think they're necessarily tarantulas, because I don't believe tarantulas can spin webs. These are giant mutant spiders, though. They're some of the hardest enemies on the in the game on Inferno mode, though, because they can slow you down and with their webs, and their webs can pierce through your armor pretty good too. Yeah. Terry says, didn't the mission summary say they didn't want to use an airstrike because they'd be too destructive, so they sent a man with a rocket launcher to be more destructive? Well, that's funny you mention that, because you can also play as the air raider who just calls airstrikes. So the canon stuff isn't really all that important. You just make your own story in EDF.
How are the other areas looking?
The war is getting out of hand, but we are still hanging on. The performance of the three
It's just sheer chaos the entire time.
expectation.
They are from outer space, after all. It's unlikely they brought some.
So on the PS5, I think there are about 4 EDF games. This one here is for the PS4. I think that's what they're doing, is they release the PS4 build, and then you get both versions. So this is the PS4 version running here. But it's got all, like, the faster loading times and the PS4 emulation on the PS5. There's another one that's pretty good that I recommend. It's called World Brothers. It's a voxel-style EDF with a 4-person squad. And it's a bit like the greatest hits of Tomsoft and Sandlot. So it has a bunch of Simple Series characters you can unlock and just random wacky guys. It reminds me a lot of 3D Dot Game Heroes. There's 2 of those. There's EDF 6, there's Iron Rain, 4.1. I don't know if I could list all of them, but there's quite a bit of EDF games. The ones on the Vita are really decent. They're probably 2 of the best ports on that system.
You survived. It's an honor to fight alongside the Spriggans.
I think that was it.
You win!
Yeah, the stories are pretty crazy, but they really don't unfold until, like, much, much later on. Looks like we're going to be fighting some aircraft in this one. So, when you're fighting spaceships, there are 2 things you always want to have on you. You want to have a rocket launcher for the mothership's weak point. Think Independence Day. And then you also want to have homing missiles or a homing weapon of some kind, because those ships are very hard to target. So, oops, I need to go back. I shouldn't have done that. Oh yeah, Insect Armageddon was another one. We want to retreat real quick, because I am not equipped for this. I'll do a couple as the wing diver as well. So, for flying things, you want missile launchers. I like the fork, but it'll tell you here, like, how many you have in there. So, the fork takes about 3 seconds to reload. I'm not doing the tortoise. This one has a reload of 1 second. That looks pretty good. So, we'll take the MLRA2, and then we'll take a better rocket launcher. Let's see here. I mean, that's probably the best we're going to get. Yeah, we'll do the Grant on that one. And then the next mission, I'll do the Wing Diver. So, flying enemies can kind of be a pain in the ass on Inferno, especially. Right. So you paint a target, and then your missiles just go take care of all the spacecraft there. I think my main objective is to go to that mothership over there and then attack its weak point for massive damage.
We have to take out those drones before we can attack the base. Attack the drones.
Yeah, they are good if you're trying to grind for weapons and stuff. They are a good source of that. But I think their body, or the frame of these spaceships, can knock you out and make you ragdoll, like I showed you there.
Powered exoskeletons, move out. Cover the infantry.
Oh shit! And they also dive bomb you and kamikaze and all that shit. Oh, do we got cyborgs there as well? It's a beautiful game. I know there's a lot of destruction, but it's a very colorful, high contrast game when it wants to be. And I think it's because like the environments you're in look otherwise drab, so it makes like all the lasers and things stick out.
Which means areas surrounding the base are suppressed.
We got some ants. I didn't really prepare to fight any ants, so we're just gonna have to rocket launcher. The rocket launchers have splash damage. I always wondered who did the voice acting on these games and how much they were paid. Because they really do commit to the absurdity of things. And they play it straight for the most part. There's some wacky lines here and there in EDF, but it is treated somewhat like an old 1950s, it came from outer space kind of joint. Yeah, we've taken out a huge chunk of them. But I'm not sure if I can attack the mother base. There's some scenarios in EDF like where you'll see a big boss, but canonically you can't kill it because you're not supposed to in the storyline just yet. So it's never quite clear when they're vulnerable until like they're yelling in your ear like, go attack the weak point. Oh shit! They're lighting me up like the 4th of July over here.
What the hell is that? The artillery fire is too
Bad Roy says, I loved EDF 6 so much. I haven't played it yet, but after I clear this one, I'll definitely be picking it up. Unfortunately, the way I play EDF games is similar to how I play Yakuza games. It takes me like 2 years to beat one Yakuza game, one EDF game, and then after that, I eventually get to the next one, but I'm pretty slow about it because they're so dense. I can hit that red spot, though. That's the weak point. Unless it pulls me out of the mission. I don't think I'm doing any damage just yet. The ragdolls are pretty good in this one. They're not as annoying as it looks, because it allows you to kind of dodge roll right out of them. It's only kind of annoying when an enemy grabs you. How many lasers does this fucking thing have? Yeah, they'll tend to repeat the objective like in 7 different ways with the same information. That's EDF for you.
There are some drones remaining. Shoot them down. They'll be dominating the ground as long as the base exists. We've been outplayed.
Okay, so this is like one of those situations where a boss introduces itself but you can't really do anything about it. So we'll encounter that boss later on in the game. It is funny, yeah. Alright, let's see what the next one is. Looks like we're going to be on the ground. Find pylons and destroy them. So we're going to keep the rocket launcher, but we're going to switch out. Maybe I'll do the wing diver. I will warn you, the wing diver is kind of weak and has some nuances that separate it from the other classes that I'll get into. So we'll, let's do this mag blaster, and then I want something that's kind of like a... Oh, that plasma fall looks good. Plasma cannon. Plasma big cannon. What's the reload? Okay. It draws a lot of energy. Let's try it, though. So I got the mag blaster and the plasma big cannon. Alright, wing diver time. I gotta remember how to play as a wing diver, but essentially the wing diver is kind of a fan favorite class. I don't typically play as it that much, but you can basically fly around the entire map. And if you look on the right, that's how much energy you have in the tank, which allows you to fly, and it also tap some of that energy to use some of your weapons. But it's good for some of these, like, much larger maps like this. So the goal here is to take out these pylons. Let's see if my weapons will do some damage. Show them. They look like they're doing some stuff here. So that's my regular mag blaster. It's doing, like, next to nothing. Alright. That's what's up. Now, the plasma big cannon is what we're going to be firing there. But we've drawn the attention of the spiders. So we're going to melt them. You know, it's not too bad. It allows you to put a lot of distance. And somebody, I think, one of my crew fired a rocket over there and took out one of those pylons. So, some of these pylons, I think, spawn more monsters. There's also nests that spawn monsters. So we're going to get up close and personal here. And now we got to recharge. Yeah. The wing diver is high risk, high reward. Because the more you use your weapons and stuff like that, the more it taps in your ability to, like, fly. Also, the wing diver has less defense than the other classes, too. So if you're playing on the harder difficulties, they can get wrecked pretty quickly. I've never used the Air Raider MD Chaos, so we can test that out. I'm excited. I haven't really... The sad part is, when I play EDF, I just like to play the Ranger. I'm set in my ways, but we'll give it a try. Oh, that was bad. Okay. I detonated the cannon, right, and a spider jumped right into me, so I got some splash damage there. So we're going to do a little retreat and try and find some health, and there's some health over there. Oh, shit. 76, that's cutting it close. Alright, so there's a bunch of green over this way. There. Alright. Is he still alive? You just gotta cut off his shooting arm just to make sure. I love frogs in reality, but I fucking hate frogs in this game. All frogs must die. Alright, the frogs are our biggest enemy, so we're gonna take them out. He's still hanging on! He's still got some fight left in him. There we go. Yeah, the Mag Blaster, I bet if I dig into the Wing Diver, they got some really cool weapons. Alright, here we go. Yeah, it just puts you in a really vulnerable position when you use this weapon. Like, I can't even fully charge it until my wing energy comes back. Because it draws directly from that. There it is.
There should be several pylons. Find and destroy them.
Let's grab some health before we do that.
Those pylons will be
Oh, there's only 3 more. Not. Whoa, there's more over there too.
spot is the glowing device on the top. If we
Let me try and take him out the Mag Blaster because it's not as risky.
firearms.
But it's so slow when it comes to this. So okay, when you reload, it digs into the wing energy to reload, essentially. Yeah, it can't even do it in like 2 full bars, so fuck that. It did soften it up for us, though. That's nice. This Mag Blaster isn't doing that much damage to these ants. Alright. Whoa! But that cannon did. Alright. My biggest fear is that as I'm firing this cannon, somebody will get in front of me and I'll just blow myself up. Yeah, the vehicles are a little awkward to drive in EDF. They always have been. But, some of the vehicles can be quite useful for Inferno mode. Especially like the helicopters, if you want to kite all the enemies into one location. Oh! They caught up with me, and I'm out of energy! This is the high risk, high reward thing I was telling you about. Damn it! Oh no! I'm defenseless! Okay. Alright, I think... Ah, damn. 2 more! Gratuitous panty shots with the wing divers, too. Another benefit. There's 3 of them, god damn it. I should have gone with the Ranger this time. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh no, right into the frog's gun! Okay. I'm going straight for the pylons. Forget all this other noise. Two more.
Very impressive for a newbie.
They give me no credit. Ah, that didn't count. You have to hit the pink spot. Pro tip. Oh, Jesus. Dude. I can't... There... This is insane. Okay. Done. One more. It's spawning so many red ants. I've got like no health. Okay, there's a health kit right there. Let's scoop it. Perfect.
Since the alien invasion, the entire world has been engulfed in flames. Though there are cases of successful killings of monsters, they have all resulted in heavy casualties. The economy has taken its toll as well. More businesses are
Damn it.
shutting down, which leads to lower employment rate. There has not been a concrete policy that fights unemployment.
I can't see. I can't see. I'm out of it. I'm out of it. Get. Okay. I need to save up just a little more energy. We gotta make this one count. Oh, that wasn't it. Back in the game, baby. That should do it.
Very nice. Super newbie.
Do they want me to clean up all the riffraff now? That shouldn't be too bad. It gives me a little boost back too, so whenever I fire that cannon, I can put some distance between me and the enemies. Oh, it doesn't arc though. I need some energy. I'm so screwed if they catch up to me. Oh boy. Okay, got one of the frogs. Let's get them out of the way. I need some health in a bad way. There's some. I got some armor too. Not bad. I'm gonna stick with the mag blaster for a little bit just because I'm able to use it for a lot longer. It's not good, though. I won't be using it again. I think it's more powerful depending on, like, what... Like, at the very beginning, it has a stronger beam, but once you run out of energy, it turns into, like, this needle-thin laser. See how thin it's getting? That's what's up. All right. It works really well on the frogs. Like maybe the weapons like have different advantages that I'm not aware of. Rock, paper, scissors style weaknesses. Almost done. Yeah, whenever it's like fully charged, it's actually a pretty good weapon. So just keep on reloading. Just keep it topped off. That's the ticket right there. Okay, now I get it. Okay, we're gonna leave one of these bastards alive. So in EDF, one of the best things you can do, like if you're starting off, is you run a level and you just leave one guy alive. And as long as you don't have other soldiers on the field, you don't have to worry about anyone killing him. So you, especially with the wing diver, you can go just clean up all these little things. So I'm going to go pick up some armor, go pick up some weapons, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's just a peaceful game. Hell yeah. I'll see what this next level is going to bring, but I'll try the Air Raider next. I'm not going to pick up everything, by the way. Just the things I see. Okay. Let's finish it. So that's the Air Diver, the Wing Diver class. Looks like we didn't get any new weapons on that one. Now, I've never played as the Air Raider. They call in airstrikes. And I think they can also put down turrets, too, so that's cool. I like the turrets. I've always liked the turrets in EDF. So, oh my god, we've got so many different things here. So you can do support stuff, too. It increases the attack power of all your allies, so if you're playing multiplayer, you can be like more of a support class. Oh god. I don't even know where to begin. A robot bomb. Okay, let's do the robot bomb. I don't even know what it's about. Let's try that. The ZE gun I've used before. This is one of the things I do. So when I used to play with my buddy Mark, we would have one guy that would just set up turrets and then just maintain the turrets, kind of like an engineer class, and the other one would go and clean up the other guys, like with snipers and stuff. Let's try, what is this? Combat bomber. Okay, so this is like calling in. Okay, let's, so they get 3 weapons. That's very interesting. Let's call in this bomber here. And then you get a vehicle? Oh my god. You get tanks, helicopters, exoskeleton. Let's get an exoskeleton in this bitch. Why not? Yeah, let's try that out. Sure. We gotta rep the HM. Pink and green. Let's go. I'm really curious to see how this is gonna do. Alright. I am keeping up this stream. All the cool streams are in the tab here. So you got 3 different weapons here. This is nuts. We got dropships coming in. What do they got in there? Frogs? Let's drop them.
Is it an air maneuver operation? Citizens are still evacuating. In this area.
All right, so I've got 2 turrets up.
I love you guys. Now run.
Oh, that's the air raid. Oh my god. I called in the air raid. Oh! Okay, that's really cool. It takes a long time to reload, though. And those are Roomba bombs. Those are Roombas. I'm dropping remote Roomba bombs. Bomba chews on their ass. Oh my god. This is the funnest class. Chase them. Get them. Why did I never try this class? Okay. Get him, Roomba. Beep, beep, beep. Alright, now we just gotta destroy the whole city block. It's unsalvageable. Oh my god. This class is so OP. Why wouldn't you pick the Air Raider? Overkill on this one. Have a turret. Have a turret. Have two. Am I out of bombs? Okay, here we go. This is so cool. We're just gonna throw... Oh, if you reload, all the Roombas go away. Okay, so you can call them back. I need some health. Oh, there's a red one with a giant cannon. Oh no. Gotta get that red one out the way. Alright, we got 2 turrets on the field. We're just gonna carpet bomb that whole area. Boom. Now I'm gonna go over into their remains and get some health. This is so good, man. 3 weapons? This is what I'm gonna do off stream. I'm gonna be spending the whole night not playing Death Stranding, but playing Air Raider and getting all the Air Raider weapons.
Do we use guns and bombs? No. That is not how it should be done. We engage in dialogue. That is the only way to resolve conflicts.
They're making fun of the diplomacy that every big kaiju movie has, like where they trying to talk to the aliens or the invaders. Yeah, we'll just talk it out while they're holding these giant guns. Roomba squad. They just blow off their ankles. It's so good. Oh my god. Okay. Turrets. Turrets. Activate the turrets. Call the air raid. Right there. That ought to do it. Overkill. We split them in half. Go, Roombas, go. The Roombas are actually pretty smart because they actually maneuver around objects and stuff. The programming in this game is a feat to behold. You don't see, like, AAA games with the kind of AI and these Roomba bombs here. Get them, Roombas! Get them! Come on, little buddies. He keeps running away. Get him in his hiding spot. Oh! They got him! Can't hide from me, bitch! Not from my Roomba squad. Oh, shit. That was so good. That was too good. I gotta keep the Roombas. They're not going anywhere. They're a part of my armory. So we got a suppress gun and a limpet sniper. I'm not even gonna try the other class. I've picked the one. Oh, jeez. Okay, so robot bombs, are there evolutions of that? The robot bombs are good. I'm keeping them. These are the turrets. What the heck is a limpet gun? High-speed laser guide kit? Locks on information. Oh, so if I have allies that have homing weapons, I can tell them where to aim. I guess that's okay. Decoy? Balloons that mimic a human. I kind of want to try this. This seems stupid, but I'm going to try it. And then, ooh, okay. Now, let's see if I got a better thing that I can call in. The Combat Bomber KM6. So yeah, this is a smaller radius, smaller damage, but it has a lot more shots. This should be interesting. Laser Guide rules. Air Raider can be really good if you got the right setup. Huh. Alright, well, I don't know what this is going... I just got 3 random weapons. I've got the Roombas. I've got those as my backup. So I've got some decoys here. These are supposed to draw the attention of the invaders, so let's give this a go. I probably wasn't supposed to put those next to each other. So they're gonna come after these very lifelike soldiers. Okay, so they're attacking my balloon soldiers. Air raid, go! Where's the air raid? There it is.
So it's only us thinking that we're both humanoids.
Okay, go Roombas, go! They destroyed my decoys. The decoys did not work. Or maybe they did work. That's why they're destroyed. But it takes so long to recharge those decoys. Not worth it. Not worth it. Let's retreat. Those decoys, while they're funny, they're not practical. The bulge laser? Okay. Let's use the bulge... Wait, there's a C? Let's use bulge laser C. We got the robot, and we've got... Okay, we're good to go. Gunships are good for solo, basically instant damage at the beacon. Okay. Send the Roombas of death. Oh, it's a space laser! You paint a target, and then it's a space laser. Perfect. That's my kind of weapon. And it stays there for a pretty long time, too. That would be good for larger enemies, for sure. I gotta get out of the range of the carpet bombs. Yeah, that took out quite a bit of them. Okay. Go, Roombas, go. The laser does take so long to recharge, though. But the cool thing is, it's still recharging as I'm switching weapons, so that is nice. Okay, we almost got a new laser. There's the carpet bombs. That one recharges pretty fast. It's killing my squad. They keep walking it like moths to the flame. All my crew is just dying. I don't know if that was a good tactical move there. Okay. We got some more ships inbound. Oh, can I drive this truck? Press the vehicle button? Yeah. I'm gonna drive my mighty Toyota here into battle. It has no weapons. Does it do bump damage? Well, they can't pick me up. It does have a health bar. It does have some sick drifting ability. Alright. We've had too much fun with that. Oh no. This is a bad spot to be in. Because I have no way... Okay. Thank God for the air raids there. Thank God for the laser. Because I was trapped in their jaws there. Their pincers of power. Damn, that reloads pretty quick. Okay. I gotta put some distance between me and these red ants because I'm basically defenseless if they grab me. I gotta wait for the recharge. They're all crowding me here. Come on, recharge. Almost there. Oh, this is too intense. Dude, what is going on? Recharge. Do I have to stand still? Okay. We'll get the robot bombs. Oh, I've got nothing. Here we go. Bulge laser, go! Help me! There we go. That'll do it. Thank you, laser. Thank you, big sky laser. What would I do without you? This is bad. This is real bad. I can't get out. Come on! Help me out, Roombas! I literally can't get out of his jaws. I've got nothing. He's crunching me. Oh. By some miracle. By some miracle, we survived another day. I need a health kit badly. Not again! Toss me out! Toss me out! Something! Bulge laser! Anything! I don't want to go out this way! This is bad. It's all over now. Bulge laser, help! Oh, no! How am I alive? 2 HP! Let's go, boys! 2 HP! 2 HP! God! No! No! Oh, no!
Oh, my God!
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Right there at the very end. I gotta have some sort of backup plan, because those red ants, once they get you in your jaws, if all you have is the air raids, you can't defend yourself. So close. Alright. I like the bulge laser, but it only attacks like a very small area. So we're gonna try Sprite Fall. The Roombas are nice, but I really need a gun of some kind. So we're gonna try this limpet gun. The bomber. Let's do the. And this one's pretty good. Okay. I feel better this time around because I actually have a means of defense, but that was so bad. Okay, here we go. We're gonna try out this Sprite Fall. I have no idea. It's paint a target and all sorts of space lasers. So more than one. That's a little bit better. What is this limpet gun all about? What is it doing?
Negotiations have failed. It's not that we can't express ourselves, it's that they never wanted to talk in the first place.
Is it a grenade launcher? What is it doing?
Us thinking that we're both humanoids.
They seem to see us as pests. Still, we have to keep trying to negotiate.
There we go. Oh, this is so much better. Easy, easy. What does the limpet gun do? Does anyone know? It looks like it's not doing any damage. That I can see, at least. Like, it's dropping out these little red things? Like these little paintballs? Oh, is it like painting a target on the enemies so all the other soldiers fight? Is that what it's doing? I think it's just painting a target so the other soldiers will take them out. Okay. It's like a C4 gun? Oh, you have to detonate it. Oh, shit. Yeah, I saw it painted a target. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, we've got some coming in from the back over here. I'm gonna grab that armor. Hey, what's up, Saint and Sense? No comment, just donated 10 euros. Thank you, Sanin. Isn't it a little past your bedtime? We have actual Europeans showing up during US hours. We're happy to have you. Okay, so I'm gonna try this limpet gun. Oh, that's nice. Kinda. It's a little weak compared to the other stuff, but... just air raids and lasers. What more do you need? Incredible. Yeah, where is that exoskeleton? I haven't seen it yet. Whoa! Right. That ought to do it. Oh, not this shit again. At least the limpet gun helps me get out of their jaws, so... But, I think it... Yeah, it destroyed me. It was my downfall. I gotta figure out some way to do this where I have more control, so I'm not stranded inside their jaws. So let's do a tactical retreat here. I'm gonna try out the other class, by the way. The Fencer. So these are the heavy exoskeletons. They have 2 weapons on each arm. We're just gonna go with whatever the default is, because I've got to learn how to play them. So, whatever stock stuff they have, we'll try out. San Instance, you should try EDF. Yeah, it's like one of those games you can play with just about anyone, and they'll appreciate it. It's very easy to pick up and play, but it's like one of those like simple to learn, high to mastery kind of experiences, because there's like 6 different difficulties, like Inferno mode. Okay, so that's my left. How do I use the Gatling gun? Okay, so that's my shield. Ah, it's kind of like a Gundam, a little bit. Oh, so the Gatling, so you can cycle between the 4 different weapons, but you can only have 2 simultaneous. I see. They have a lot of health too, so this should be an easy affair. Which EDF does one start at, though? You could start with 4 or 5, honestly. They have a little bit of continuity, but the plot's so ridiculous it doesn't matter. I'd say start with 5. And then if you like it, go to 6. Or you could try World Brothers out if you want something really silly. Now, how do I switch that out? Okay. So the tower shield can actually attack? That's crazy. Oh, that's like a shotgun. Okay. That's really cool. Okay, I gotta wait for them to show up. Read a little chat. Man, all the classes are so fun. Love the weapons. Air Tortoise missile was my favorite. Yeah, Marcosaur, the Air Tortoise is kind of the meme weapon. It's like the slowest weapon in the game. Like, the missile travels at like 5 frames a second. It does not go far. And once it does arrive at its target, like 10 minutes later, it does an insane amount of damage. But I had a friend who swore by it. This cannon shot is kind of funny. It's like a really sophisticated shotgun, and it pierces through a lot. Boom! This is one of those games where you can really feel the power behind, like, the kick from the guns. It's very satisfying. Yeah, there is no wrong answer when it comes to EDF. You just play it however you best enjoy it. Whatever your loadout or class. Boom! Alright, let's swap over to something a little faster. Okay, so that's how you swap that. There we go. Let's see if I can punch a hole in this building. It leaves a lot of, like, the... That's crazy, like, how it has actual bullet damage on there. Like, you can see where the holes are. It's not taking down the structure. I wonder how much, like, damage can remain on the map at one time before it spawns out. Alright, we got a bunch of spiders. I'm gonna use my cannon shot. Boosh! I'm looking at my compass, and you just see a line of monsters disappearing from the field. The reload time is a bit of a killer, but on normal mode, it's fine. Use my shield. Do a little shield bash. It does nothing. Boosh! Boom! On both sides. And we got a big health kit right there. That's perfect. The shield doesn't really do anything. And I'm reloading a shield, which is kind of odd, but whatever. Sometimes when I get surrounded like that and you can't see, if you look in your compass, aim in the direction where the most amount of red dots are. Just blind fire that way. But the shield is blocking the hits while I'm reloading, so that's not bad. But it's so... I've got such a slow guy. He's got these little jet boots that kind of get him across the map. I swore in one of the EDF games I played, I had like jet skates and I could skate around the map. I wonder if that's the case here too. Okay, we just got a few left now. I'm gonna collect all this junk. I'd like to get some more weapons. Yeah, you can play any EDF. You can hop in. If you want to go as far back as the PS2. But I would, like, if you got a PlayStation Vita, the 2 Vita ports are perfect. You wouldn't think the Vita would be able to handle the amount of destruction and chaos of EDF, but it does. I think they run in 60 frames, if I recall correctly. I'll have to test them out again. Alright. We just got a few left. We'll use our Gatling gun here, since it doesn't take too long to recharge. I don't think I can recharge the power dyne. I think that's one of those limited weapons. That it? That it?
You just witnessed and survived from hell, newbie.
Wasn't too bad. Not my favorite class. It's a bit slow, but it seems like they'd have some really awesome punchy weapons. Shield stink. Yeah, just grab another weapon. I agree. The shield is not great. I'll swap that out. The power dyne I didn't like. Let's do a heavy mortar. The hand Gatling, let's swap that out. Yeah, let's get the shotgun. We got that. We'll do the multi-missile launcher. And the shield we'll get rid of. Is the flame revolver a flamethrower? Let's get a flamethrower in the mix. Why not? And the dash cell, let's do the booster. So we can slide, right? A new powered exoskeleton that improves the output of legs. The walking speed is increased. Nice. So you can, like, customize your exoskeleton. That's crazy. We got big frogs. We got this. We got this. Oh my god, look at this loadout.
Teams that have closed in on the artillery. Attack now. Artillery unit confirmed.
And we've got a flamethrower. Does it take a while to heat up? Yeah, it takes a little bit, but we've got a flamethrower. And we've got a missile launcher. Okay.
The enemy weapons may be powerful, but they are designed for long-range support. We have a chance if we can get real close. Move in. Attack the artillery unit!
Damn, they got big lasers.
Other teams are late, but there's no time to wait. Approach the artillery unit and take out as many as possible.
I just launched a mortar shell.
This is Alpha. Aliens ahead. We're engaging the enemy. The enemy is bombing us. Run! We'll get blown away. Artillery fire incoming.
The shotgun's okay. It's not as powerful as the cannon I had last time. But it's good for situations like this. Where you have frogs that just hang on by a thread. Whoa! I took out the bridge. Ooh, 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 get up, boost it! I'm halfway out of health there, so... That mortar isn't too bad.
This is Delta. We are under the enemy's artillery fire. Don't stop attacking. Avoid the artillery fire.
Alright, let me try my other stuff. Okay, the flamethrower takes like 5 seconds before it heats up. It's bad. It's real bad.
We can't approach because of the artillery fire.
It is taking... Yeah, it takes 5 seconds for the flamethrower to heat up. That's awful. I can't survive with that. I can't survive with that. We need out of here. Okay. This is nuts. Okay. GG. We've got 5 health. It's over, boys. And there's one right here. Oh my god. Drop some health for your boy, please. 5 HP. Please. I need 1 health drop. I can't see with all the rubble. He didn't... He's alive! He's still alive. He's got, like, no limbs, no guns, and he dropped an armor. Perfect. That's not... And he's spinning! He's spinning! Oh!
Oh my god!
Okay. We need a new loadout because that flamethrower takes over 5 seconds before it starts. That's too big of a window. Okay, the flame revolver is getting out of my life forever. Strikers? There's hammers? The hammers look fun, but I know it's going to be up close and personal, and I can't do it for this one. What the fuck is the spine driver? A mechanical hammer with a destructive power. Okay, let's try the spine driver. This missile launcher I couldn't get to work either. Let's do the Bloodstorm, why not? I like the shotgun okay. Shotgun's fine. The mortar did come in handy, but let's see here. What's the reload on this here? 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. Reload is everything for these. Let's do the heavy cannon. I do like the heavy cannon. Okay, that should do it. Get the spears. Blast hole spears all day, baby. Okay, next round I'll do the spears. I think I got a spear. Isn't that what the spine diver is? I don't know what the hell I have, okay? I'm just testing out this class for the first time. Okay, here we go. That's up close. My ground troopers are doing pretty good for themselves. That's a first for EDF.
The enemy weapons may be powerful, but they are designed for long-range support. We have a chance if we can get real close. Move in.
Okay, the spine driver seems to be doing okay. This dude's like missing all of his epidermis, and he's still in the fight. You gotta respect that.
Other teams are late, but there's no time to wait. Approach the artillery unit and take out as many as possible.
Oh, that's what the Bloodstorm's all about. Takes a while to charge up, but all three of them. Boom, boom, boom. Look how high he flew. Yeah, the Bloodstorm is pretty neat. It's like a firework that just splits. Oh my god. That is so cool. Blue. Yeah, I feel a lot better about this time around. Minus that. How close do I need to be for this to work? I think I have to be fairly close. Yeah, it does a lot of damage, but you gotta get right up in that asshole. Let's try it again. Yeah, it just like decimates them, but you gotta be like within 50 meters.
We suffered heavy casualties. Everybody died in the artillery fire. We can't approach because
Alright, this is going so much better. Missile time. You gotta admire the tenacity, the fighting spirit of the frogs. Honorable. Okay, let's switch out and try. Okay, so that's my shotgun. That's the heavy cannon.
enemy landing ships have entered the area. They plan to drop aliens.
The heavy cannon's not too bad, but it completely freezes your character when you use it. Oh, get up, get up, get up. I don't know. No, I like the other combos that I had. We'll stick with the Blood Storm. It's too good. It's too good. Get up, get up.
Alpha has arrived. Support the units in combat. Understood.
Oh, they got more frogs on the field. This is not good. Oh, this is bad. Okay. Okay, can I use the spine? Okay, I'm close enough for the spine. Let's just use a spine on him, because I'm so close. Get up, get up, get up. We need health. Big time. Oh! Tactical dodge. Woo! Dudes, no, no. Get out of here, get out of here. Get that health. I see it. I see it. We're gonna get it. Yeah, that's what's up. Boom! Got him. Nothing like the feeling of reloading during the heat of battle. That's missing. That's not good. That did it. Okay. Oh! I got a sneak attack there. Okay, get up. We're gonna head towards that field of green. Ooh. This guy can't jump that high. Perfect. Okay, we only got one guy on the field, so I have a chance to get some health if I see it, so... I could probably just cut off his shooting arm and then go get some health just in case there's another wave. I'm not sure if there are more coming. Oh! His shooting arm's working, though. Just confirmed. Alright, we'll just risk it. Gotta risk it for the biscuit.
Artillery unit has been eliminated. We can win this.
That was pretty intense. Hanging on by a thread, 100 HP. So, let's do a couple more. I want to go back to the class that I'm most familiar with. We'll go back to the Ranger. Alright, for the Ranger, let's see what we've got ahead of us. It doesn't give us a preview of what's to come, so it's anybody's guess, but I think I'll need an assault rifle at least. Let's get this Raven in here, and then we'll go with one of my... This is my favorite missile launcher, these forks. They're pretty cool. And, that'll work. Alright, here we go. Back to the Ranger, what I'm most comfortable with. Everything else is very technical. This is like for the brainless EDF players like myself. Beautiful map, by the way.
Don't get close to the enemy. Shoot them. We've killed countless monsters with this tactic. These things will be our prey too. Those tiny monsters have no chance against the blue jackets.
The reason I like the fork so much is because it reloads really quickly. It does a lot of damage. The one problem with it is that it hones in on just like an individual target. But that's what the assault rifle's for cleanup. So many spiders. This would be insane on Inferno. But unfortunately, it won't let you play the Inferno levels till you've done everything on the harder modes. I'd show you what Inferno looks like. It would be over in like 2 seconds. Yeah, the fork would have been better on the previous level. The shotguns, they're your best friends on spider levels. So the fork right here, boom. And there goes the toad. Alright, let's clean up some of these weapons. Hopefully we'll get something good. No matter what mode you play on, it's always good to go for the armor. Because they carry across your armor, your HP, carries across all the different difficulty modes. So if you do want to run Inferno, you can grind easy mode or something, I don't know, for like a week. Well, I'm not exaggerating when I say, like, you'd have to grind for about a week to even stand a chance in Inferno mode. Yeah, eight-legged freaks, if it was awesome. I like eight-legged freaks. Underrated. Hey, Frogman, you can play as the frogs in World Brothers. The ragdolls are so good. I really should have got a shotgun for this level. It's more satisfying to kill the spiders because they just like blow an entire line through them. I call it a hole puncher. Not a good idea to use the missile launcher here. I love that the frogs will do a tactical roll or hop. Like where they do that back roll. It reminds me of the Gachamuchi of Billy Harrington when he does that roll. I gotta get the Billy roll gif going here. What's the best EDF game in your opinion, says Ava Luna? I haven't played 6, but I would definitely say 5. I think it's 20... Is it 2019 or 2017 on the 360? That's probably the one I played the most. But 5 is incredible. I can't vouch for 6, but I'm sure it's good too. Also, people recommend Helldivers. I haven't played Helldivers, but I'm aware of it. Helldivers takes a lot of inspiration from EDF. Alright, alright. Well, that was something. Get the weapon for the mission clear.
It's you again.
You vouch for EDF 2? I think EDF 2 is on the Vita. The Earth Space one. Okay, we'll do one more mission. Okay? Can we do one more mission? We're 2 hours and 39 minutes into this cool stream, so it's been a pretty good one so far, but I gotta get back to my deliveries. Your old porter Hikiko has got some unfinished business, so let's do one more. And I'm definitely gonna get the Breacher. That's my favorite shotgun. Let's see what we got ahead of us. So we've got UFOs. UFOs we get homing missiles for. And the fork's a little too slow for that. So let's see if we can do multi-targets. Yeah, the Emerald's good. I think I'll go with the Emerald. And the Breacher. Alright. Final mission of the night. I hope you've had a good time. I've had a pretty good time. Shout out to everyone on the archive, by the way, who's been watching this. If you've never played EDF, of course, comes with my highest recommendation. Anywhere you can get it, it's going to be pretty good. That Emerald was a terrible call. The Emerald's too slow. We're going to swap it out. I think this one will do us well. And everything seems to be skybound. Maybe I'll do a sniper. Do I have a sniper on me? Yeah. The Dunkel. The reload time is 4 seconds, but it's got 15. Yeah, let's do the Dunkel. Lost Planet is better kill the monsters with gun games than Helldivers. I haven't played Lost Planet in a long time. It was a bit janky and weird when I played it on the 360. The sniper's not doing too much. Are these special flying saucers? Because their armor is way stronger. Yeah, what's going on with these guys? I think these are the heavy armored flying saucers. Like, it's eating all these missiles, all my sniper shots. I'm trying to get it. Yeah, these are the elite saucers here. My missiles are like way too slow, like they can barely trail behind them. We may just have to go with shotguns and rocket launchers. What do you say? Oh, we got one of them. Their lasers are incredibly powerful. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to survive this one on the current loadout, but we'll give it our best. The EDF way. I'm having better luck with the sniper here. Yeah, a sniper does way more damage. The missiles, while they're cool, they're not suited for this kind of enemy. Yeah, sniper's the way to go. Got him. One more. This is going to be a lame one to end the stream on. Let's see what the next level brings. Because this is like, okay, armored UFOs. Not a cool thing to end the cool stream on. So let's see what the next one brings. Oh, thank God they don't spawn anymore.
The results are great. I will send the data out to the world.
Yay. Let's see if there's a giant kaiju or something. So far there's been one mission where I kind of fought a kaiju. Iron Wall, the large number of aliens are approaching. Oh, so it's a phalanx level? Okay, I think I should, maybe switch up my class here. Yeah, let me, if we're gonna do a phalanx, I want to at least have some close-range weaponry. So we gotta get my favorite shotgun. That's not it. That's it. And let's use some grenades here. So we got some napalm. Let's do some napalm. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Alright. Last one for realsies.
Commence Operation Iron Wall.
The enemy has started attacking.
Oh my god, we got mechs, tanks, soldiers all around.
Will stop the enemy from going onward.
I've got to protect these buildings? Is that what the goal is? This is very cinematic for an EDF level.
Evacuation is not complete yet. There are defenseless civilians.
Oh, lots of frogs on the way. Go, Napalm, go! You're my only hope. The napalm, it just sticks to them and burns right through them. makes them suffer just a little bit. That's nice.
Fierce battles are taking place in other areas as well. We have to hold this position.
Okay, so this is like a little tower defense kind of situation. Pretty.
This is Scout. Enemy landing ships confirmed. There are a lot of them. Incoming landing ship.
Oh no. Dropships. The napalm's pretty good so far. I'm really keeping an eye on that compass because I don't want them to breach the capital.
Those alien bastards look like they're afraid of water, but they aren't.
They look very much alive.
This one straight up won't die. He's burned to a crisp. Alright, there we go.
It's the aliens! That's a lot of aliens.
My phalanx is doing okay. At least they're not ambushing us from behind.
Looks like the enemy is focusing their attack and trying to break through this area. So hold your ground.
If they break through this area, the defense line will break down. You must hold them off at all cost.
Look over there! The enemy artillery unit!
Enemy artillery unit on the rooftops. They're attacking this way.
There's got to be a better way to do this. These frogs are very resilient to the fire. There we go. I'm just going to go in and punch a hole through them with the shotgun. That worked. We'll let the napalm take care of these ones.
The civilian evacuation is completed.
We still can't let the enemy break through here.
Oh, I'm getting overwhelmed. I can see all the red dots spawning, one after the other. We're damage boosting. Into the purple abyss. That works.
This is Scout. Aliens are approaching.
I can't see. Oh my god.
At this rate, they're gonna break through!
This is just absurd. Okay. I think I'll stick to the napalm for a little bit because it reloads so much faster. And taking out their nests like this is very risky. Especially because they started spawning in those red frogs. Oh my god, all those drop ships.
Enemy landing ships.
Jesus! How many are there? You know, I thought 30 would be enough.
Aliens coming from behind. Damn! The line of defense is useless. What is the line of defense doing?
They just keep coming, Jesus! Where are they? Do I have to destroy the dropships? Now we're in peak Kusoge hours here. It looks like I'm making sort of a dent, though. But they're dropping some near the phalanx, so I actually have to go back to the phalanx. Otherwise, they're gonna breach the building. Oh my god. Hanging on with barely any health. Light his ass on fire. Yeah, they're all over at that building. Looks like my guys are holding it down okay. We got some wing divers shooting lasers. I don't know what that special weapon is that Red Frog has, but we gotta get that out of his hands. I don't think he has a permit for that. There's literally 100 frogs.
Destroy all enemy.
The purple goo fills me with determination. We will see this through. That's gotta be it.
The war against aliens continues. While the economy is on the brink of collapse, many industries are forced to shut down due to harsh operational environment. We have to prepare ourselves for the largest economic setback in human history.
MD Chaos wants to know if I will ever stream Disaster Report. Yeah, I could do that. Disaster Report is a very long game, though. A lot of fun choices, though. It would be a good game to poll the audience with, to see what kind of silly things we can do. Okay, I think we're at the end of this now. We just got a few stragglers. Where is he? I can hear him. Oh, he's way over here. Let's draw him out. Are they retreating? Come on, dude. They're right behind this building. But they keep jumping backwards. And I don't have any weapons to destroy this building, so I'm just gonna have to do the slow crawl over. Thanks for making this level stretch out. Had to return the favor. We got another one. Is it on the building? I can't get on the building if it's up there. Because it looks like it's hopping up on here. Ain't no way. Unless I can destroy the building with my shotgun, I don't think I can. That would be such a dumb way to end this level. Come on now. I hear him. I can see his laser. We're just gonna have to blind fire napalm up there. I see him. I see his gun. He's camping. No camping. Is that even doing anything? Come on. There he is. He sees me. We just blew off his head. Perfect.
The operation was a success. We have stopped
There goes his gun. We did it.
Well done. The victory is ours.
They had to just put a really annoying one out of sight. All right. That was our EDF cool stream. I will be back again Wednesday. Maybe we might do a ROM night. Maybe we might do something crazy. Maybe we'll do a PS5 game for real. But I've been Hikiko. Thank you so much for joining at the 3-hour mark. Thanks to everyone in the archive as well for always watching these. We're getting a pretty good groundswell of people going back and watching the archive. So I hope you've enjoyed these cool streams. Not all of them are elaborate. Some of them are just a dumb little EDF stream. So I'll see you all next time. Thanks so much for all the super chats and all the support tonight. As always, I'll catch you next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Time. Cool streams. Bye-bye. Good hang.